Good afternoon, I am Adventure Argonaut. This is Rogue Trader, and this time I am planning to do some actual adventuring and exploration. The previous stream was basically just talking to people on my ship, um, but now it's time to actually go ahead and explore and get into fights and all that good stuff. But first, let's see. Are my streams working? Kick and Twitch are fine. How about Rumble? Is it still thinking? No, it's also working. Okay. Everything looks fine and dandy and hunky and dory. Why is Dory so hunky? Nobody knows. Fight of the Navigator, I guess that one. Right-clicking on a result of a roll in combat log will display how that roll was achieved. Ah, okay. Should I turn on the combat log permanently during combat? Maybe I should. Let's see when we get into a fight. Alright, but now go to the map screen. So yeah, there's like 3 quests here. New Blood, Machine Spirit Keeper, Land of Rykad Manaris. Guess let's just go here. This, okay. Lord Captain, there is some commotion on the officer's deck. The Lady Navigator has left her quarters and is currently in the wardroom, where the uninitiated crew members are shunning her in terror. Perhaps you should find out what has brought Cassia to the deck. Okay, what's going on? So still more talking. Guess they're afraid of her because she's a freak, but she's like my GF now or something, so... I don't know. Just have everybody whipped, including her, of course.
Lord Captain, my apologies. I did not notice your entrance.
The Lady Navigator is engrossed in perusing the dusty tomes, which appear to have been neglected by other officers, be it because of sloth or dullness of mind. When you walk closer, Cassia looks up at you, starts and hides a weathered book behind her back. Okay. I see you are fond of reading. Point at the book.
Oh, this. I found this fascinating read on one of the shelves, and I must say, it has caught my eye. Its every chapter is written in verse. I find it so beautiful and enrapturing.
So it's the collection of works by the Cadian naval officer and poet Aelius Quent. So is this like a romantic event or something?
Had a vast archive of its own, of course. Although most of the works within had to do with scholarly disciplines of some sort or another. Only in my sparse moments of respite was I allowed to escape into the pages of more embellished works.
Cassia gently brushes the dust off the cover with her thin, clawed hand, her eyes filled with longing after reminiscing about her lost home. The events that took place on Urak 5 must have shaken you greatly. Are you well?
One should not underestimate the navigators of House Orselio, Lord Captain. Like a shawl of pale smoke, a faint malaise hangs upon my shoulders, but it will not be the slightest hindrance to my duty to humanity, and my duty to you.
Cassia's response is reserved and pointedly decorous, clearly intended to create a distance between you. Your only attendant is your valet for Urak 5. Do my servants not measure up to your standards?
No, no. It is not that at all, Lord Captain. It is just that Uwe is quite capable of carrying out his duties by himself. He is well accustomed to my whims and preferences.
I wonder what sort of whims is she talking about? I'm jealous. A perception test succeeded. Cassia cringes ever so slightly, adjusts the adornment on her forehead, then awkwardly hides her clawed fingers in the fold of her clothes. The unnatural appearance of navigators often becomes a topic of gossip among lowly servants and officers alike. It is unsurprising then that Cassia prefers the company of one who is used to how she looks. Gained 5 experience. I hope you have had ample time to calm yourself and your powers.
There are people on this ship who are far more impulsive and dangerous to others, and far less devoted to the God Emperor than a herald of the Navis nobility. But I did not need your words to see the shades of umber unease that whirl around your subjects whenever I am near. Were I not acquainted with such a reaction, I could have found their behavior in your question just now insulting.
Blah, blah, blah.
Lord Captain, would you kindly explain to me why you are pestering me with these questions? Inquiring about my mood and my needs, showing an interest in the books I am enjoying. You are behaving as if you possessed a shred of fellow feeling for one such as I. I beg your pardon, Lord Captain. That was no way for a navigator to conduct herself.
Frightened by her own words, Cassia covers her mouth, pales, blushes, then pales again, and hides her face behind the cascade of her snow-white hair. I believe this conversation has reached its natural conclusions. It would be so weird to say it suddenly. I am beginning to think, Lady Cassia, that the feelings I have for you are far more complicated than common sympathy.
Lord Captain? So many colorful sparks are flaring to life and dimming all around you. It is a veritable ocean of emotions. There are so many of them that I can barely see the pure white sincerity of your words.
Really, it's more like I'm curious to see what happens. And I see. Disconnected from internet are from OBS. Let's see, reconnection successful. Okay, we should be back. So yeah. So I was just saying that, like, yeah, she says we are pure white sincerity when we are, I don't know, flirting with her or something, but I'm more like curious to see what happens.
Please forgive me. I cannot even understand myself right now. Your words and attention have reminded me of life on the station, of Theobald and Felek. I do not understand. They were merely the keepers of Urak 5. So, why do memories of those two make me feel a strange heaviness here?
She places a hand on her breastplate.
At the same time, I find myself overwhelmed with new excitement and anticipation. At last, I have set foot outside my familiar walls, and into a world that I have only seen before in the pages of books. Your ship alone is a treasure trove of remarkable artifacts and curiosities. And just imagine the things that await beyond, but... My delight must seem childish to you, surely. In your heart, you must be finding all this quite amusing.
Perhaps this is a bit too hasty. I would rather we find amusement elsewhere, perhaps in the privacy of my chambers. It's sort of like I'd like there to be like I don't know, different way of saying this one. I would not dare to make fun of a lady's feelings, especially not one who has captivated me since I first set eyes on her. It's like, like I have a more subtle way of like, conveying my feelings or something. But
Words like that, Lord Captain, could easily be misconstrued. You should familiarize yourself with some of the works in your library to learn the appropriate manner of conversing with a lady.
yeah, I guess she agrees with what I said. Struggling to maintain an expression of polite indifference, Cassia covers her burning face and swiftly exits the room. So yeah, I guess that was just a romantic interlude or something. Oh, and now we are left here. So where are we exactly? Is this like her chambers? Well, not much privacy here. Privacy, because we are also British. Dum 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 dum. Boom 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 brum brum. Do, 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 do. Oh, it didn't ask me to press any key. I was thinking hard, like what key should I press? Cassia Arcelio is the young heiress of Nabis Navilide House. Okay, can we now go to Rykad Minoris? Ah, shut up. Oh, sorry, Lord Captain. Sorry to disturb you. Vigdis pauses as if listening to something. It's pandemonium outside the bridge gate. One of the officers seems to be demanding an audience with you in person. I think I hear Master Verserian's voice. In any case, I wanted to warn you in advance. No, I don't want to romance that guy. He seems like a nice fellow, but I'm just not into that, okay? What's the stance on homosexuality in the Imperium? You'd think they view it as a sign of chaos. Okay, the turning throne thingy, so like we are the baddies. The everyday sounds of the breach are disturbed by voices raised in anger. Abelard's voice is loudest of all. This is not the conduct of an officer. These are the antics of a highborn brat out of on a lark. Explain yourself, lieutenant, or lieutenants. We are British, after all. Dark echelons. Lord Captains received a plea to assess sections of blah blah blah. Leave it the situation regarding depot force. I want Avrila Vint, the young woman standing before Abelard, strives with all her might not to quail under the onslaught of her superior's anger. She falters, but then manages to look him in the eye and say, I apologize, sir, but I must speak to the Lord Captain. Very well, Lieutenant. You may address the Lord Captain, not least because I see you have already seen fit to disturb him. Your unauthorized appearance on the bridge and display of belligerence toward a higher-ranking officer will be logged on your personal file without delay. Lord Captain, Lieutenant Avrila Vent, requesting permission to speak. Vent falls silent and answers rashly, on a matter of extreme importance and urgency. You may speak, but I want to hear a report, not a shouting match. Having two officers bickering in full view of the bridge is unacceptable. I'm sorry, Lord Captain. I thought the drastic times call for drastic measures, he explains hotly. Okay, get on with it. This matter cannot wait. Any minute now, an assault unit will be dispatched to the lower decks in order to crush the workers' strike by any means necessary. But I am convinced this step is unwarranted, that the crisis itself was provoked by the actions of one of the senior officers. Veld is almost trembling with tension as she delivers her speech. her face extremely pale. Abelard, in no hurry to intervene, lets out a skeptical huff. He glances at Sourback, who is standing not far from him, but she maintains a stony expression. Sourback is a cool name. Lord Captain, I urge you to investigate the actions of Seneschal Verserian and to intervene in what's happening on the lower decks, because very soon we will have a mutiny or a massacre on our hands. Wrench reels off the last words as though she knows them by heart. She clearly has been preparing to say them for some time. When she is finished, she casts an anxious glance at Abelard, then at you. There's an insurrection in the making aboard my ship, and no one has informed me. I would not deem it a problem worthy of the rogue trader's attention. The lower decks, as it so happens, are in revolt. 30-some years ago, we even have a revolutionary leader rise up who dared to establish workers' rule across the entire ship. It took a month to restore order, but even 8 years later, we were still battling rumors that the hero had survived his execution and was on the verge of gathering people to fight against tyranny once more. Damn commies. Abelard scoffs. Needless to say, the rumors were baseless, as for the current situation we have sufficient enforcers to deal with it. But on this ship the word of the Lord Captain carries more weight than a salvo from 100 bolters. I'm sure that if the rogue trader addresses the malcontents directly, he will quell the unrest. I dread to think what problem you will disturb the rogue trader with next. Perhaps you will ask the Lord Trader to break up brawls in the mess room. I've already given you the means to resolve this problem. You simply need to use them. If I may, your lordship, sending a hit squad to crush the rebellion means ignoring the problem, not solving it. How did all of this start? The situation could boil over at any minute, so I'll give you condensed version. It all began when the enforcers found a cultist amulet on the body of someone who'd been killed in a drunken brawl. We reported it to the chain immediately arranged for a cleansing rite to be performed and opened an investigation. No heretics have been found alive, but the search has brought tensions between enforcers and workers to a head. Where does a seneschal Verserian come into all of this? I shall explain, Abelard intones grimly. I beg you to hurry, time is running out. I will not hurry, since my competence is under scrutiny. I shall speak for as long as I see fit. I will ramble on until the problem disappears on its own. There is an established order to the way things are done on this ship, and one of the pillars of that system is that the rogue trader's attention is not distracted by trivial matters. It is the seneschal's role to ensure that I have always handled internal problems myself, so of course, when I received information about cultists hiding on the lower decks, I took the matter in hand. So long as I live, not one of the vermin who murdered Theodora von Valancius will find refuge on her ship. Her former ship. You were far too heavy-handed, Seneschal Verserian. Arrests, interrogations, mass punishments for entire sectors, it has driven the people to the brink, she says bitterly. Now there is a strike on the lower deck, in Depot 4 to be precise. 3 worker clans are involved, but many more are passively supporting them. The situation could degenerate into an all-out insurrection. But when I reported my concerns, the only response I received was an order to dispatch an assault unit and crush the strike with maximum force. What is Depot 4? Depot 4 is one of the poorest sectors in the lower decks. It is home to the clans of general laborers. They are not as valuable to the ship as the families who have served its specialized systems for generations. They are an easily replaceable resource, and one which is now more besides giving succor to cultists and minions of the archenemy. Depot 4 is poor and troubled, but at worst that means drunken fights and illegal rotgut brewing. We have handled the workers on Depot 4 in the past. We would have done so again, if the crackdown on Depot 4 hadn't been so harsh. And another important point to bear in mind, the problem is not limited to this sector. It is located on one of the most populated lower decks, and everything that happens there has a knock-on effect on all the neighboring sectors. Abelard, what do you have to say to all of this? I see no need to add anything. I acted within the permit of my authority. I exclusively by the best interest of your protectorate and your personal safety. I wish to confirm the rectitude of my actions for yourself. I have no objections. For my part, I urge the Lord Captain to go down to the lower decks, stop the assault unit, and speak directly to the people. You will see they are not lying or harboring heretics. That way you will stop the uprising before it begins. I'm curious to go there, but also this might be a trap to try to assassinate me or something. Master at Arms, the ship's enforcers report to you, and yet you seem hesitant to provide your own perspective. Ah, okay, this is Sourback. Okay, Jocasta. Vocasta. Lord Captain, unlike Lieutenant Vint, I respect the chain of command and realize that it is not within my right to challenge my superiors. Sourback bows her head in Abelard's direction. However, a moment later, a serpentine smile appears on her lips. That being said, while I entirely share Master Versarian's opinion on what Fate Depot 4 deserves, I must note that this insubordination is a direct consequence of practices that he himself has introduced. Miss Sourback, I see you have decided to follow the lieutenant's example after all. Such behavior does you no credit. Sourback, explain yourself. The ship's regulations state that the Master-at-Arms is responsible for resolving all matters related to the ship's enforcers, and yet it is no secret that the Seneschal has a tendency to show partiality. Those enforcers and officers whom he has deemed particularly promising are at times given permission to approach him for tutelage. I cannot deny Master Versarian's experience and insight. The Seneschal has a record of fostering students who have indeed achieved much and demonstrated impeccable performance. However, extending such patronage over the head of their immediate superior encourages disregard for hierarchy among your lordship's servants. Today an enforcer goes to the Seneschal to report an order from the Master-at-Arms that they happen to disagree with. Tomorrow they will go to the Lord Captain to object the Seneschal's order. I notice a pattern in these actions. I guess she has a point. Abelard, do you wish to respond? Miss Sourback, can you recall an occasion where I would encourage an officer to disobey their superior, or where I would overrule their order, or show favoritism to those who merited none? None, Seneschal, for there have been no such cases in the entire time I have served aboard this ship. If anyone were to claim otherwise, I would have them to pay for insulting your honor with blood. Your conduct in this regard have always been spotless. Nevertheless, given your eminent position, a simple show of attention on your part is enough to erode the propriety of junior officers, inflate their sense of self-importance, and undermine discipline. That you distinguish some of them and know them by name is tantamount to walking around the officers' deck handing out gifts to officers who have caught your eye. It fills those you set apart with ambition and audacity, makes them stand out among the rest. Enforcers are meant to be faceless servants, fighters ready to die, their fate entrusted to their commander and no one else. That is the sole foundation of order. Lieutenant Vent, would you say that the Seneschal has singled you out from your peers in any way? Lord Captain, I swear that Seneschal Versarian has never granted me any privileges, never once advocated for me, nor facilitated my promotions, although he is the man who convinced me to become an officer in the first place. He has offered me extensive guidance in my service, for which I am grateful to him, and while not all my fellows receive such attention, I know of at least a dozen fine officers whom the Seneschal keeps in his sights to ensure that they continue to strive. To prepare new generations for the dynasty's servants, to instruct them, and to separate those with potential from those who have exhausted it. That is my duty as Seneschal. The ship has base worth of pilots, enforcers, officers, technicians, and stewards whom I have raised personally. By the throne, every third person standing on this bridge right now it was my student at some point. But I thought we are like we lost like 2,000 people and we have to replace some of them, so I don't think it's that many. Like, not like an overwhelming amount of enforcers and officers and stuff. I see. Evidently, my officers are anything but a shining example of unity and adherence today. I have only myself to blame, I suppose. I like this answer. This matter is not worth the road trader's time. Abelard, you have acted with staggering incompetence from now on. You will sort out your own problems. Get out and take that upstart with you. I'm certain Seneschal was acting within his authority, but I will verify the soundness of his decisions for myself. Throne preserve you, Lord Captain. I thank you for your support. And Abelard grits his teeth slightly. An enterprise bordering on the sophomoric, but please yourself, Lord Captain. However, categorically insist that I escort you. Lord Captain, I regret that the enforcers were unable to handle the situation, which led them to your and the Seneschal's involvement. I consider it my duty to go to depot for myself and see to the expedient resolution of the incident. Okay, so there might be combat. Okay, so we have to bring a proper parts, eh? Oh yeah, I did check that, if we talk to the Genry Stanrock, the merchant guy, we can like create custom characters like other party members. Okay, I'm gonna press Y. Any key. Like we could create custom party members, but I guess it's not necessary. I think we should be getting more party members quite soon and stuff. Let's just try to find. Autosave 2. I don't know. Faithful servant. Override that one.
We shall reclaim what is rightfully ours.
Greetings, your graces. Hi, it's Versarian. Take that, scum. What? Look who it is. It's all his fault, all of it. Abelard reflexively wipes the sweat from his brow in a startlingly human gesture and telling one a rare moment where he allows his age and weariness to show through his armor-like veneer of self-assurance. The lower decks are a source of endless problems. Sometimes I dearly regret that we cannot replace all the locals with servitors. The people dare to disrespect the senior officer. They would not have the chance to express such disrespect if we were not here, and if the situation had been dealt with by the relevant officers. Abelard grimaces. It's a junior officer's worst failing to pass problems up to the chain of command. I have never been able to abide it. I shall say it again, it was a mistake to come here on Lieutenant Vent's whim, Lord Captain. I must admit that the lieutenant is by no lieutenant. I don't know which one to use. Is by no means the worst material for an officer. Abelard adds peevishly, but in the name of Sarah, the girl is the same age as my eldest great-granddaughter, and she has the gall to tell me how to manage the lower decks and hunt down cultists. It will be another 20 years at least before she can be trusted to act without oversight. Did you hear they were shouting your name? Of course they were. The organization of the daily, routine life of the ship rests upon my shoulders, the mountain of challenges and problems from which I endeavor to insulate you, Lord Captain. The situation on the lower decks has been a cause for concern, and I have intervened personally on more than one occasion. That must be why they remember me. They do not know your face. To them you are akin to a creature of legend, one who has stood on the steps of the golden throne, no less. Whereas I am a man whose name is attached to every order docking rations to or lowering base heating. Escape moving, we need to get to the bottom of this. How dare you do that to my officer? Something resembling nest made out of thermal insulation material must be where the workers sleep between shifts. Well, it's a bed. Doesn't look too bad, except that, you know, it's a bit out in the open. Valve. Okay, do we have like a puzzle later on that we have to turn the valves? Valves and steam. Lower deck rabble. Rabble, rabble. Your face is a mess. Door open. Are we supposed to go to the door? Guess, probably. Rabble, rabble, you torn your dress. Rabble, rabble, your face is a mess. Wow, nobles from the upper decks down here to see us. There's nothing to loot here. Why did I come here? Never should have come here.
The divine watches over us.
Oh, there is goods. Nice. What's this? They have some effects. Frenzy. Receives bonus MP and additional attack per turn. Are they gonna attack me? Let's go loot. Yeah. Inside the box, a string of scratch letters runs around the edge. Different first names but same surname. It looks like this box has been passed down in the family from generation to generation.
Know your duty.
So, who are we supposed to talk to? We can't talk to this rebel.
I still do not see our purpose in coming here.
Relax, old man.
We found loot. Okay. Wow, nobles from the upper deck. Okay, same comment as the other NPC earlier. The sounds of a heated discussion reverberate through the ship's base. Lieutenant Avril Avent of the ship's enforcers is barring the path of her superior, Master-at-Arms, Jocasta Sauerback, who has arrived clad in armor. Judging by the expressions and tone, standoff has dragged on for some time already and has now reached boiling point. Lieutenant Vent, my patience is wearing thin. I have given you an order. Now get out of my way. I cannot comply with that order, ma'am. Vent looks shaken, but there is fire in her eyes. This is my deck and my sector. So long as this remains under Lord Captain's special oversight, no action can be taken without my express permission. There are only 3 people who are authorized to make me stand down. First officer, rogue trader, and the Emperor himself. So not all my lessons fall on deaf ears. Abelard mutters in crabby approval. He does not clarify whether he meant Vent, Sauerback, looming over her, or both. Your lordship! Noticing you, the 2 officers snap to attention, salute, and their subordinates following a suit a moment later. What's the situation? Your lordship, my people have locked down the bay where the strikers are, including their leaders. We have a situation under control as far as resources allow. Under control, Lieutenant. I came here to lead an investigative unit. What do I see? The rabble is on the verge of mutiny. There is nothing to investigate. This simply calls for an immediate repressions and firing squad, and you, Vent, are a step away from facing charges yourself. We encountered some locals on our way there. Their conduct was outrageous, even tried to throw things at us. Vent's case is full of worry and regret. The people are getting desperate, clearly. They saw the assault unit and decided they had nothing left to lose. I mean, I apologize, Lord Captain. It is outrageous. I'm sure the people simply didn't recognize you. It wouldn't have occurred otherwise. We deal with them once the current situation is resolved. Is that all you have to say? Are you sure you're worthy of an officer's rank, Lieutenant Vent? For a split second, Vent freezes in fear, but she pulls herself together, straightens and clips out. Forgive me, Lord Captain. I will take steps to ensure that such a thing does not happen again. Okay, I want to speak to the strikers. Since we are here, let's go talk to Mario's strikers. Abelard's mouth twists, but he restrains himself and says nothing. Right you are, Lord Captain. Allow me to wish you good luck. Hope gleams in Lieutenant Vent's eyes. So this better not be a trap. Trap. But I sort of like it if it's a trap that, it's like, because it's trying to make it so like, oh, what's her name, Vent is so like, loving and compassionate person, but like, if she's the baddie and you shouldn't be so like a bleeding heart, then it's an interesting message. A dozen pairs of eyes stare apprehensively at you. The people before you are typical inhabitants of the lower decks. You take their simple clothing, crude weapons, and faces that display varying levels of mutation from the barely discernible to the strange to the outright grotesque. He won't stand for it anymore. A whisper passes through the crowd, and you detect a mixture of fear, astonishment, and joy in their reactions. Finally, 3 people break away from the crowd. An elderly woman and two men. They must be the leaders. They bow clumsily before you. Lord Captain, you have gotten down to us. We were attacked on the way here. How do you explain that? Here's an explanation for you. The people have been pushed to their limit. Now they're lashing out. As if we don't know why these top deck units are being sent down here. Like that one there that the lieutenant won't let past. All clans are ruled inside the bay that's been sealed off, but the lower decks are big. I'm sure there are some people who've just had just about enough. We're getting it on from all sides. The soldiers have encircled the ones who've risen up. The death squad has just arrived. It's no wonder folks are lashing out. Awareness test succeeded. The words seem sincere to you. Their body language and glances traded between them reveal that views of the attack has shocked them. 6 experience. Okay, tell me what is troubling you. Why are you striking? Striking? That's news to us, your lordship, says a tall, thin man in a worker's garb. All we've done is asking questions, saying what we think. Shut up, Rivet, snaps the old woman, who turns her hostile dark eyes on you. Here's the deal, your lordship. You damned enforcers are all over us down here. They say you're looking for cultists. One wrong word and they're reaching for their batons. If they want to punish someone, they turn off the heating for a whole base for a week at a time, so we get sick and freeze. In my clan, 2 little ones died from inflammation in their lungs, all because of these enforcers. The old woman spits on the floor and rubs the spittle with the toe of her worn-out shoe. Argenta does not interrupt the workers, but you see the sadness well in her eyes when the children's deaths are mentioned. She quietly whispers a requiem and makes a sign over herself. The Emperor protects. It's all true. Wendt is the only enforcer officer who stood up for us. It's clear as day who had a mother on the lower decks and who grew up amidships and has no fellow feeling toward us. The grim man with scarred face throws his arms. Your lordship, we are no villains here. We are honest workers, your servants. We plotted no disorder. We went and strike openly. Now we got guns pointed at us. All we are doing is asking to be allowed to work in peace without being harassed. The persecution started apropos of nothing, you say? I was told one of you was found in possession of a cultist amulet, and that there are heretics hiding here. A cultist amulet? What's that? The Giga they found in the dead drunkard. If it was something evil or forbidden, we sure didn't know. The enforcers just say they were looking for heretics among us, and anyone obstructing the investigation would be punished. But how could there be heretics here? We know our own people. There have been no new faces around. Definitely not. And if there were, we'd be the first to deport them or report them. And as for this amulet or whatever it is, they took it off a dead body. There are no cultists still breathing in our sector, that's for sure. But when that fight broke out, some enterprising folks looted the bodies. The boots they came back with, nobody's ever tread these decks in boots so fine. I can tell you that. Seems to me these cultists have better commanders than us. Oh yeah, those boots really were fine, and there was no harm in taking them, right? As for the amulet, it must have been pocketed by someone who didn't know any better. We don't need any amulets around here. We all worship the Emperor, and when we're working, we bow down to the machine spirits of the large and small transformers and the servo motor, the same way my grandfather taught us 100 years ago by a tech priest who came calling, "Believe us, your lordship, we are people of faith." Naive children! Weren't you taught from an early age about the dangers of the arch-enemy's creations? Weren't you warned that any unfamiliar object could be one of them? She has a point.
We were told, Holy Sister, but it was long ago. The last time we saw a confessor in our sector, it was just after I'd had my third little one.
That is regrettable, but you cannot lay the burden of leading a righteous life on the shoulders of the Holy Fathers. Who will you blame when the beasts crawl out of those amulets you stole from the heretics? The Holy Father who was not there, or the scavenger who brought evil down on himself and his neighbors? Abelard, do you have anything to add? I authorized the use of all necessary measures to locate Chaos worshippers hiding in this sector. The specific steps taken by the officers were not reported to me. Abelard frowns, clearly disgruntled at having to explain himself in the workers' presence. Nevertheless, I am certain that their actions were justified. Cultists are no drunken stevedores. They are the enemy and a threat to the ship. Neutralizing them demands decisive action. I guess that's right. Sauerback, was it really necessary to torture these people with cold? The rebel understands only one language, Lord Captain, that of violence. As per regulations, should the laborers persist in their unwillingness to cooperate, the next step is limiting air supply and cutting off water, which is almost certain to restore order. The peasants can grumble all they want, but in the end they are source of their own misery. All they have to do is bow their heads and fall in line, and the need for punitive measures will disappear. I guess. So what changes do you want?
Oh, will you look at this? The exalted Lord himself is asking us to build what we want. Well, here's what we want you to stop draining your damned enforcers, to quit turning off the heat and to stop battering everything that moves. No, that's not it. We want the enforcers gone from here. We want to be armed. Give us arms and we'll govern ourselves. We'll defend ourselves if these cultists lose all their patience. I've been leader of my clan for 20 years now. Getting rid of these club-wielding thugs can only improve things around here.
You got too far, old man. They'll never let the maggots on the lower decks live without the enforcers breathing down their necks. They probably even insist on enforcers on the upper decks too. As for weapons, what do we need them for? Yeah, before the first day's out, we'll have someone shooting their neighbors out of stupidity or drunkenness. We don't need that. If the enforcers stop hassling us, there'll be enough. In return, we'll find the scavengers who robbed the cultist bodies, and we'll talk to them, one lower decker to another. If there are any more of those damned amulets about, we'll hand them over to the enforcers ourselves. I think stages sounds reasonable.
You speak for yourself and your clan. I speak for me and mine. I don't want empty gestures. I want real change. They'll promise us the world now, but as soon as the Anointed One turns his back, these brutes will be on us even harder than before, all because we dared to speak out.
I think she's a bit too forward or something. The tall worker eyes start between two arguing leaders. Every few seconds he opens his mouth as if planning to agree, but each time he falls silent, simply making a few vague noises of approval. Okay, what's this coercion? Spreading anarchy on the ship is the first step towards embracing chaos. That's certainly true. Putting weapons into untrained hands would be even worse. What's more, the enforcers are needed to maintain oversight and order. We throw those demands and we will consider the rest. Yeah. Coercion test succeeded. The tall worker they call Rivet shrugs and casts his sidelong look at the old woman.
Oh, now, listen. The Lord Captain himself has come down to us and is offering concessions, and I don't know a single person in the whole Depot 4 who's ever stood next to the rogue trader, let alone talk to them. Back down now. Now's no time for you to be a stubborn old crone.
7 experience.
Listen to us now, old man. The 3 clans of Depot 4 are to act as one. We made up our minds up It's your turn to decide. Don't ask them to disband the enforcers or give us weapons. We don't need any of that.
The old woman hisses in dissatisfaction.
Shh! You two are ganging up on me. Instead, it's so brave you are against an old woman. But I'll shut up. I will indeed. I won't go against 2 clan leaders on my own. If you want to make peace with the enforcers, make your peace.
Yeah, maybe we should ensure that something happens to the old woman. She doesn't seem like a good leader. She, doesn't know. She doesn't respect the hierarchy, the feudal system.
That's great. Just fantastic, Lord Captain. We all agreed.
I can still choose to kill them all. Then it's decided. Persecution will stop and I will expect you to assist in location to any remaining amulets or weapons left by the cultists.
Your Lordship, thank you. You have not abandoned us lower deckers. You came yourself, settled everything. I'll tell my grandchildren about this.
So, removed cargo fuel provisions. So we give them some stuff. I guess. Well.
Oh, of course, Your Lordship. We'll root out any nasty business faster than the enforcers. We'll leave no stone unturned.
Okay. This page is where the start of each is marked. The last mark is missing. The workers went on strike. Okay, so is it now ready? Like time to go back? Oh, there's goods here. Multipass. $1 multipass.
With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars.
What now? Stopping unexpectedly, Abelard imperiously dismisses the unit to stand at distance and addresses your other companions, saying, I have an urgent matter to discuss with Lord Captain. Please give us a moment. Abelard looks at you and his last vestiges of restraint vanish. Well, are you pleased with your investigation, Lord Captain? You caught out the disloyal rabble. You believed their lies and showed them no leniency. Next time the ship is attacked by cultists, that rabble will welcome them with open arms and allow them to wreak whatever havoc they like, because they see you as a weak leader. Is that how you see the future at the helm of the Von Valancius Protectorate? Do not speak to your Lord Captain in that tone. I am obliged to speak thus. Who else can point out your errors and offer you counsel? Okay, let's talk about your role in all of this instead. You allowed this revolt to happen. Your actions practically guaranteed it would. I would have handled the situation myself had you not decided to intervene, Abelard says irascibly. Irascibly? Remember Lord Captain Theodora, do you think she ever set one slippered foot on the lower decks? No, she did not. Such matters were left to myself and the junior officers while she dedicated herself to her grand designs for the Protectorate, as any true strategist and rogue trader ought. Maybe if Theodora had spent more time on trifling matters, she wouldn't have wound up dead. There is a new Lord Captain aboard this ship now, and I will not repeat her mistake. Abelard looks at you stunned, and he says loudly, then he nods curtly. I commend your decisiveness, but I'm comfortable with introducing new protocols in the midst of a crisis. And Abelard stands straight at attention. I lost my temper, Lord Captain. I believe I ought to explain myself. Abelard speaks slowly, words not coming easily to him. The prosperity of the Van Valancius Protectorate is not just an empty phrase to me. I left the Imperial Navy for the chance to see it flourish. It was the most momentous decision of my life. I did it because I saw in Lord Captain Theodora's deeds the sign of true greatness. Rogue traders do not simply forge new routes to capture worlds. They create order out of anarchy. That creative impulse was entirely lacking during my time in the military. So I left behind everything I had known, everything my family had known. I come from a long line of officers, and I embarked upon this incredible, reckless venture. Lord Captain Theodora entrusted me with all the concerns she had no time for. She would go off on her flagship for long periods to distant frontiers and scouting voyages, and the advancements of the entire Protectorate rested on my shoulders. And then suddenly everything that had been built over years and years began to quake, rattling like a flimsy hangar on a seismically active world. Oh my god, so much text. One of the senior officers betrayed us all. The rogue trader was killed, and who knows what is happening on the planets. I tell you this honestly without fear of appearing weak. All this has come as a grievous blow to me. I am not panicking or grieving because I cannot allow myself to panic or grieve. I am duty bound to aid the new rogue trader, to aid you, to find your footing as quickly as possible, and to do that, I must insulate you from problems that in the past have been dealt with by tried and tested procedures set out in the ship's regulations. Procedures that were established long ago and have functioned smoothly for decades cannot suddenly be deemed excess of requirements. This I understand, but you need to learn how to respect me as your Lord Captain and Rogue Trader. Accept it and start living in the new world, a world where Theodora is gone and where you have new decisions to make. Abelard solemnly inclines his head. Yes, Lord Captain. After a moment's silence, he adds, looking at you with interest, your resolve is admirable and demonstrates strong leadership. I shall remember this moment, should my old habits ever begin to creep back in. And now, let us leave the lower decks. If the rogue trader desires to stretch his legs, there are far more suitable places. Okay. I guess we can head back to the bridge. Can we finally... It's almost been an hour and we still haven't reached the planet we are heading to. If there's gonna be one more interruption, I'm gonna execute everybody on board. Execute everyone. Idira class. That ass. That class with that ass. Class. No. No. You know, I appreciate the game that it has content and stuff, but like, I think the pacing is a bit off. As the ship makes its way through the star system, a strange fatigue falls over you. Your eyelids grow heavy, and the quill you have been using to draw yet another order falls from your hand. It's kind of cool that we write orders with quills and not like, you know, using a like fingerprint or DNA scanners or something. You raise your head with a start. Someone else is here in your study. You stand up and stare at dozens upon dozens of corpses surrounding you. Among their number, you recognize the disfigured and bloody faces of those who died on the ship's bridge and those you met in your previous life. How is this possible? Where are the enforcers posted to stand guard? It matters not. You're alone against a horde of heretics risen from the darkness to take your life. Of course, this is a dream sequence. As if of your own accord, the shard lying on the edge of the desk, the sole remnant of Conrad Vognier's weapon, slips into your hand. The metal is searing cold. The dead sway from side to side, closing around you in a nightmarishly slow advance. Kneel before the rogue trader. Your lives belong to me. All you hear in response are unintelligible voices, whispers, moans, and derisive laughter. Anger ignites your chest, and you clutch the shard which ravenously bites into your palm with its sharp edge. An unbearably bright light floods everything around you, and you find yourself surrounded by groveling minions, their bodies shivering in your mere presence. Your hands no longer hold a pitiful shard, but a majestic and intricate weapon, skillfully crafted sword with a strange, unnerving proportions and curved design, an unusual hilt adorned with the image of an closed eye. Eye opens wide, revealing a gaze so ancient and dark that it steals your breath away. You have felt this gaze before, there, on the bridge, and the voice that appears in your mind only confirms your guess. The tapestry is woven, the path is chosen, accept your fate, champion. Throw the demon blade away. The sword sounds fun. I am the sword's master, not its servant. Remember that. You feel the sword's immense weight pulling you down. You resist its will for a moment before collapsing to the ground to the sound of odious laughter. The strain is such that you fear your back could break at any moment. Vogue. The first dawn is hereby woven into the tapestry of your fate. Seek the second dawn in the hands of she who rises above its future dominion. The former aspirant fell, and thus the new one will become the chosen of the weaver of destinies. Make mortals serve you as their god and become the vessel of the edge. You awaken from the vision kneeling next to your desk, clothes drenched in sweat and with a sour taste on your tongue. Your head is ringing and you struggle to recall those faces and the image of the sword in your hands. Only the deep cut on your palm and the bloodied shard lying on the floor remind you of what just transpired. A foreign presence rises up from out of the deepest, darkest recesses of your mind. The cut on your hand burns like acid, and an alien consciousness in your head greets the pain with a discordant wave of barely intelligible voices. So we can pick up the shard or get rid of the, of course, dogmatic, get rid of the shard. Oh no, we lost the blade shard. Oh, okay. Ah, yeah, I think we had this in inventory. You would rather die than touch that thing again. You reach a shaking hand for your box and call for a servitor. Now you have to wait for the mindless automaton to arrive. Pick up the cursed artifacts and head for the nearest airlock to be claimed by the void. I wonder, like, would it have been a sword? We don't really use swords much, so it's not good for me anyways. Of course, it might be magic sword that gives some cool fancy stuff. I wanna see, yeah, this part. So we are follower. So we have to get to 45, I guess, to get to adherent. If we get this, we purging by fire. What does it do? The first round of combat, all critical hits scored by the Rogue Trader's party inflict burning 10. In addition, all fire damage suffered by enemies is increased by 1 for each rank of conviction dogmatic. Okay, let's go to the... At least we didn't have to talk to people. It was just, it's different kind of. We didn't have to solve the problems caused by our incompetent subordinates. Here's the door. Still would like to have a compass or something here. Okay, please. Can you let me reach the planet? We have 30 seconds before the hour is done. Owlcat minorities. Okay, begin scan. Yes, we reached it less than 1 hour. Civilized world. Extract stream 0. Mobile mining outpost blessed in the accordance of the blessed standard template construct. This small industrial complex can be deployed on practically any world. However inhospitable, the serf clan assigned to it will devote itself to the maintenance of its sacred mechanisms and the extraction of resources needed by the rogue trader. So how do we do that? And what's this? Starport. It's a civilized world. So I guess that means chaos will be rife here. Yes, let's take all our party members and let's go. I'm gonna press melee attacks. Always have 100% hit chance, but they can be dodged or parried. J. I press J. So is there a fight going on here? Fight against whom? I sort of wanna fight orcs. Starport greets you with the din of ordnance and the smell of explosives tickles your nostrils. It's difficult to tell through the smoke who is firing at whom. Sergeant Malgar. Halt! Weapons on the ground or I'm firing. A man in torn, dirty uniform hobbles towards you from behind the chunks of rockcrete and crumpled plasteel. His cracked helmet is adorned with a crooked label that reads Sergeant Malgar. Alright, so your guys are in lockdown. The rebels are shooting down anything that flies, and you lot just happen to land in our rear without a scratch to show for it. And on a shuttle like that? Where did you get it? Stolen from the palace, isn't it? He is visibly awed by the resplendent gold in your transport. Grab him, lads. We got ourselves a rebel landing force. Abelard turns purple. By the holy throne, what is this mess? Idora glances round. They're in a rough spot, old man. Go easy on them. You must be mistaken. I'm the rogue trader of House von Valansis. The soldier grows more and more pale with every word you say. As soon as you are done speaking, he falls to his knees. Okay. Oh, my mistake, your lordship. I didn't recognize you, sir. Please pardon my blunder. It's a bloodbath in here. Oop. A frag grenade explosion cuts off the rest of the sergeant's words. Shrapnel flies everywhere with a piercing screech. One of the soldiers falls to the ground, clutching the remains of his forearm, and that is now adorned with crimson tattoos. Blood is pouring out of the stump, and the soldier's agony is short-lived. The sergeant curses and hastily says an army prayer for the dead. With a rasping cough, the sergeant turns back to you. Pardon me, sir. Sergeant Las Malgar reporting. My unit is holding the starport on the governor's orders. How may I serve? What is going on here? Unrest, sir. Armed rebellions in both the capital and the provinces. First the lower levels sparked, then it went to the spires. They hit the Vox hubs, the arsenals, mag train stations. Then Felek tore off his mask, precisely because he knew about the trouble on Rigan Minoris. He knew that none of our allies would come to our aid. Cassia let out a sorrowful sigh. You may continue your report, peasant. My unit was here when it all went to the Groxes. The tech priest linked to the satellites reported sightings of strange void ships in the system. They were orbiting the star until one of them set course for landing on Rykad Majoris. The governor took precautionary measures in order to increase security at the key facilities. Everyone knows that whenever something's not right, you better double the warden details. The alarm was raised, and we were sent to secure the starport. It's the only reason we were able to hold it. According to satellites, one of the uninhabited void ships circling nearby star has something. Damn it. They're crushing us. We were late to arrive on Raigan Minaris. Ah, so yeah, it actually because we went to the station first, and also because we were interrupted by everybody on the way here. They're crushing us, the scumbags. It's been a whole turn since the last reinforcements came in, and we're running low on ammo. Every other fighter is wounded. I don't know how bad it is in the streets, but they'll drive us out of here in any minutes. What caused this rebellion? Ill thoughts, sir. We've fallen on hard times. The ground keeps shaking. The things keep exploding. The people are scared. They've forgotten all their duty, and that's when those Emperor forgive me preachers came. They started riling everyone up. Sure enough, we shot a few, but they just kept coming, more and more of them. Yes, pat him on the shoulder. You're doing fine work, Malgar, and so are your troops. It's people like you that hold the Imperium together. I live to serve. The surgeon's grim voice rings with a martyr's pride. Do you happen to know if a member of the Inquisition has come here? At the word Inquisition, the sergeant's face fills with awe. I don't know, sir. There definitely haven't been any visitors like that on my watch. You might have to inquire at the headquarters, your lordship, sir. Some dirty dog nearly shot down my shuttle. Affirmative, your lordship. It's all those damned rebels. Those maggots somehow got their hands on the anti-aircraft battery, and it's causing our shuttles no end of trouble. That thing really packs a punch. They're lucky they missed you. I've seen them fry 2 shuttles carrying reinforcements. Not a soul survived. Okay, gonna see the governor. Governor? If I may report, sir, as long as the rebels keep shooting their damned anti-aircraft battery, there is absolutely no way to shuttle you to the governor. It would have to be on foot. The streets are dangerous. I have no one to send you an escort. I assigned all available troops to accompany the esteemed tech priest to the governor. Ooh, the tech priest. Nice. We can probably get him. I will voxcast orders to them to wait for you, and I'll inform the headquarters. They better send out a convoy to meet you halfway. Meanwhile, we will follow the governor's orders. Hold the line here. Idera frowns as her gaze grows distant, as if she's looking through the surgeon. You're a good soldier, but you got a lot of blood on your hands, both yours and others. You know, the same hand that salutes now might falter in darkness. Rank and epaulets won't save you from the bitterness. Pardon me, my lady, but I can't get my head around these fancy words you're saying. I've seen plenty of blood, but trust me, I'll fight till my last drop. Is the path ahead dangerous? What exactly awaits me there? Sergeant sighs heavily. All our roadblocks are gone, and the whole place is in the rebels' hands. The city is almost lost, because we were late. So no help will come. We are surrounded by rebels, and watch your steps, sir. The streets are chock full of mines. Logic test succeeded. Nice, 7 experience. His remark about mines lodges itself in your memory. More than anything, you will need to watch the ground and not your surroundings. You'd rather risk a shot from a rebel or a jittery soldier than experience a few handful lethal frag shrapnel resting on your some 300 grams of explosive fizzling. What tech priest? A very important person from Adeptus Mechanicus arrived on the last shuttle before they locked down the sky. He kept asking whether anyone by the name of Amaranth or Amaranth, the streamer thought, or something like that, had recently arrived. Barely answered any of our questions, though. Said he was under no obligation to tell us anything. He demanded to talk to the governor personally, so I had to send a quarter of my troops with him to keep trouble at bay. You're a good soldier, Margar. I see that your heroism is noted. Sergeant blushes slightly. I live to serve. Another explosion interrupts the sergeant's words. With a sigh of relief, he turns to his soldiers, spits out a booming series of commands. Rumors. On your travels, you hear many rumors. Some of them are deserving of Rogue Trader's attention or logged in separate section of the journal. Sometimes rumors are just that, other times there is truth to them, and in some cases there may be even more. To verify rumor, travel to place indicated in the rumor's description. While traversing the Cronus Expanse as a rogue trader, you are bound to hear rumors regarding your own deeds and exploit, some of which reflect the reaction of the Expanse's denizens to the choices you have made. Okay, let's see what rumor we have. Warden of the Expanse. Lord Inquisitor Zediver Calcazar is a powerful, mysterious figure who plays a pivotal role in the fate of the Cronus Expanse. His power is so great it extends even over rogue traders. Okay, and this unidentified void ship. According to satellites, one of the unidentified void ships certain nearby star has landed on a large uninhabited world in the system. Interesting. So which way are we supposed to be going? Let's have a look. I guess just through there. Ooh, loot. Ooh.
Did you see that? They almost knocked us out of the air. Some bumbling idiot's going to regret that when he's dragged before the Lord Captain for questioning and trial.
War planet. Guess that will apply to most planets in this game.
I do not think the rogue trader should take a personal interest in a common crackpot. Some react you into eternal darkness.
I'll bleed you dry.
Cassia is an officer and your ship's navigator. She strikes foes with energies of the warp and supports the party by making her allies stronger. Voice of Command is an officer ability that increases an ally's characteristics for 1 round and also allows the officer to use their other officer archetype abilities on that ally from a distance. The higher the officer's fellowship bonus is, the more the target's characteristics are increased. An officer can use voice of command again on the same ally only after 2 rounds have passed since its first application. Bring it down is an officer ability that lets them immediately grant an extra turn to an ally. Ooh. During that extra turn, the ally does not gain any movement points, but they do gain 2 action points, which can be spent on making an attack or using abilities or consumables. If the ally is under the effect of voice of commands and destroys an enemy before the end of the officer's turn, the ally will be granted extra momentum for his skill. Lidless Stare is a unique damaging ability that assails the targets in wide cone in front of the navigator with warp energies. The target dealt is based on the navigator's willpower bonus. All creatures targeted by this ability must pass a willpower resistance test or become stunned. And we are in a battle. Argenta, but if she's the first one to move, maybe she doesn't have to be in cover then, right? Oh wait, Abelard, he can be here already. See how many baddies, quite a few rebel scum. Rebel scum. Okay. Dira. So we do have some NPCs assisting us. But yeah, now she has the ability that, you know, if she sees the enemy, they get lower dodge and stuff. Okay, little Argonaut, okay, he's there. So I guess that's everybody in some sort of position. This is a good cover, but do we have any? Can we shoot from there? These 2 guys, I guess.
Guided by faith.
Okay, got 1. 1 is better than 0, usually.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
Oh, these guys. We can try. Okay, fine. Don't. At least we hit somebody. Like it wasn't completely useless. I guess use that. Get some momentum.
Show me what you've got.
Bruiser Rebel.
Hold on.
Hold on. Agitator. Oh, some buff. Voice of command. Oh, okay. Adolf himself. What's this? Let's first see that there's actually enemies within range from that place. We can actually try to shoot. Not many. At least that guy.
May the
Guess we should
divine
still.
will be done.
Brace
Actions
for
will speak
impact.
louder than words.
Guess. Concentrated fire. Yeah, okay, let's try it.
Commands.
Rebel gunner. That sucks. Okay, let's try again.
I will not be deterred.
Wait, why are we using this gun? Okay, that explains something. Why were we using the wrong gun?
Rejoice in service.
And we fail.
I'm not so sure.
Is there anybody who is in line of sight? This guy, okay.
Will do.
Deliver us!
Ow. So it's like the first. I guess we got really unlucky. Let's see the log. Let's make it a bit smaller. I guess we should leave the log. Okay, let's try to avoid using too much.
Was that you?
Oh,
Or
got friends in the back. Okay,
follow my lead?
maybe she should. I don't know.
I'm here, maggot.
Let's make it quick.
Ow. Okay, well she didn't actually take damage. There was what? Voice of command. Bring it down. Okay, this is the extra turn.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
This is the lidless there. The lidless eye.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Okay, so now she has an extra turn. I don't really want to shoot. The hit chance is really low, I guess, because they're now it's much higher.
I'll do it. Can escape. the Emperor's judgment.
Okay, nice. She gets reveled in slaughter. I guess we should activate it next turn, not right now. Oh, and she could also use this. I don't think there's many people in range. What if we... Yeah, let's try it. Let's activate this. No, cannot. Can only go 3 steps, so we cannot actually go all the way there. Then maybe not. Alright, let's wait for other people. What are her weapons? She has that kind of guns. Yeah, I don't want her to be standing there
Step
all the
aside.
time.
The navigator is coming.
Surely they won't hit her too much. What's this? Grants an ally an extra turn with full aim, AP and MP. During the extra turn there is no attack limit. What is an attack limit exactly? Charge. Oh, he's not dead yet. What is this? Forceful strike. Ah, it's the push attack. Okay.
Indeed.
Wait, what's this? Restores all AP and MP and gains 3 movement points. There's no limit on melee attacks. Let's see. Let's see how it works. Maybe here.
Reduce to dust.
Okay. So can we still shoot? Oh, this. Oh ho ho.
One fewer target.
Nice. Okay, it's just no limit on melee attacks, I guess. So, but yeah, there's nothing else he can really do now. Okay, that was sort of cool though. Now he's alone behind enemy lines, but he's tough, so I don't think it's gonna be a big problem, right?
Let's get to it.
Parry, see? Cocky armor, what's that? Cocky clamor. What the fuck is cocky clamor? This creature's taunt hits its target, reducing hit chance against any other target except this creature by -20. Okay. Argento. Mario Argento. Let's go here, and who do we have to shoot here? There's this guy.
This is unacceptable.
No line, okay. How about if we go here? Can we shoot this guy? Yes.
Doubt is for the weak.
Damn it.
Oh yeah, I should have used that. Well, let's use it next turn then. Okay, well, what if we go here? Is there line of sight? Yes, there is. Let's go there. Try to use
Actions
that.
will speak louder than words. Rejoice in service.
Okay, we hit at least. Didn't do much, but we hit. Let's send her forward as well. What's the range on the Pikachu attack? Yeah, it's too far away. How about this thing? Yeah, alright. How about the gun? Wait. If we shoot here, we might hit that guy as well.
That is not my destiny.
I don't know, let's take a risk and still use
Anything else?
that thing, even though we might summon chaos again. Guess.
Onwards.
Guardman. No.
Time to slaughter someone.
Wait. That guy killed his friend, trying to deprive me of like experience points or something. What's the range on this? It's just out of. Voice of command.
Give me strength.
And let's give
If I
Adolf
may.
Argonaut another turn.
And so shall it be done. I will.
Okay, that was a hit. Oh, he could use this, but there's really nobody else in range, I think. She could. Nah. Let's go
My place
here.
is at the fore. I will do my duty.
Nice. Charge.
Victory is imminent. I took care of this one.
Abelard is really the protagonist here. He's doing so
It
much
will be
work.
done.
Doing the Emperor's work. Where we really only have one guy left, right?
I
use
am
this.
his will made manifest.
Fire
I'll
Arm
do it.
Master.
You, my emperor. As the emperor commands, I act. Faith without eradicated.
Nice. And that's everybody. Okay. Fun little fight. Except it was mostly Argenta and Abelard who did stuff.
this crappy last gun. No, I don't want crappy last guns. Shock baton. I guess we can keep Mezoa patterns. Let's keep these for now. Let's see the sword. It's not as good as that one, but it's probably better than these, I guess. Anybody else? Maybe she can use shock baton. Maybe it's more suitable for her to use that. Sword. Alright, let's see what other loot. Is there any loot this way? And oh, there's goods here.
By the blood of
So I guess either the guards respawned, or they just, you know, they fell down because of the chaos spread by Idira's ability, but they didn't die. Is he cut in half? Yeah, this is some crap. Blind madman. Can we talk to him? Aye, aye, have you got them? Please, give them back to me. Even just one, please. Is that mad? Sounds reasonable, except, like, of course you can't really use anything with that. Mad woman. Hey, these look sort of Star Warsy, but like, oh, Lore Imperium 100.
Accomplished.
Written on the side of the shuttle in pilot slowly slang out words. Do not touch a shipment. Goods. See, I couldn't read all of it, but this is officer something. Increased range of officers' archetype abilities while bound cell. Yeah, sure.
Let the faith guide my path to glory.
Lucky Jasper. Folks, how about you don't come any closer or I don't shoot you? Gain true vision, renounce false sight, all will be revealed. Wait, Abelard? The young, shaggy-haired soldier is still pale. Nonetheless, as you approach, he holsters his pistol, the hallmark of good discipline. He gives you a somewhat frightened but genuine smile. Thank you, my lord. You arrived in the nick of time. I don't know what those babbling creeps wanted with me, but it definitely wasn't anything good. Who are you? Lucky Jasper, the governor's aide and personal Vox operator. I was dispatched to the starport on special orders. The young man proclaims, desperately trying to tame his tousled hair. Are you unharmed, soldier? All thanks to you, my lord. Those blind lunatics are all over the city right now. These rebels, damned into the void, go around maiming anyone they get their hands on, and scorching their eyes. They leave the poor sods driven mad by the pain to wander the streets, babbling nonsense. I have to go check my son and be right back.
My son sort of went back to sleep. He probably gonna wake up soon though. So he lowers his voice and adds with gravity. The command doesn't want anyone to talk about it, but I've heard whispers that it's not just some nonsense, it's heresy, actual heresy. Because listening to it scrambles your brain. It made one patrolman freeze in his tracks while the blind mob got hold of him, carried him from his post off to who knows where. What exactly were you doing here on your own? Following Governor Medina's special instructions, namely, he grits his teeth with a pained expression furrowing his brow. All right, it's a secret assignment. I can't talk about it. Okay, we have all these options. I guess Lore Imperium. I'm a rogue trader. Why don't I simply order you to tell me everything? This is well within my rights. Succeeded. Rogue trader? After casting a quick glance over your gear, he nods in understanding. Oh, so you must be House von Valancia's ship. The Starport's Auger surveillance station reported it had detected your ship entering the system. Then you heaved to send a shuttle to another unidentified ship. A very strange one and that, and then the ship departed. So we gained experience. But the Auger surveillance station's reports are not to be disclosed to third parties, but you know that already, don't you? Well, alright, if you really are a rogue trader, I'll tell you everything. So why did you send you to the starport? I'm supposed to deliver updated Vox codes and how should I put it, assess the situation. The planet is a real mess at the moment. The rebels have found their way into your Voxnet and are now eavesdropping. This made proper communication impossible. The hallowed electrodynamic Cenobium had sent out a distress call before it went dark. And who knows what's happening in the system. There's been a riot on Ricardiphilia, the prison planetoid. Eurek 5 station is silent, although the navigators there have always been a reclusive bunch. I was hoping I'd be lucky enough to run into a pilot or a captain here who could give me an update, but that's hardly a possibility right now. The rebels are blasting anything that tries to land out of the sky with their damn cannon. Awareness has succeeded. He stops talking a little too abruptly. 6 experience. There's something else you're hiding from me, isn't there? More classified secrets? Jasper looks away. It's nothing classified, but just personal. There's another reason why I'm here. My betrothed is missing, Raquel Beccari, the esteemed Yvain Winterscale's personal pilot. When the riot reports came from the Ricardiphilia, Lord Yvain headed there personally. Then this rebellion started down here and we lost communication. No one knows how they're doing up there. You know what I'm afraid of? That they'll come back. Those rebel scumbags will shoot them out of the sky. I wanted to find a place that's high up, set up a voxcaster there, and send them a transmission. The sky's closed off. Don't try to land. But I didn't make it in time. Those blind dogs chased after me. As I was running, I tripped and broke the caster. He hangs his head sadly. I worry for her. She's an excellent pilot, but I still worry. Abelard shakes his head disapprovingly, but his eyes are understanding. That is why all members of a Voidship clan share the same employment. No matter how devoted a servant of the Emperor is to their duty, there is always the danger that family ties might disrupt regulations and order. Pray not for her survival, but for her honorable death should it come to it. Forgive me, my lord, but my wish to see my Raquel alive again, she's everything to me. Tell me about Eurek 5. There's not much I could tell you about it. The station belongs to Navis nobility themselves. Emperor knows what they do up there or who even lives there. They scorn ordinary folk. The only person they're ever willing to grace with an audience is the esteemed Yvain Winterscale. We've been there. That's where we got chick Cassia.
It is beginning to sound like he's complaining. That place is creepy. They say they order shuttles with servants from Riga and minorities on a regular basis. I guess they're too important up there to change filters and clean compartments themselves, huh? Except I've never met anyone who has served there. It's like no one ever comes back. Your brothers and sisters lived and died for a great cause, serving a navigator house there for all the Imperium. It is a high honor, one that few could bear. Only now does Jasper notice Cassia, and his eyes go wide with fear. He opens and closes his mouth a few times helplessly like a fish, unable to utter a sound. Instead he just nods nervously. So who is Yvain Winterscale? The esteemed and honorable scion of the blessed rogue trader Caligus Winterscale, master of the Rigid system, at the behest of his illustrious father and grandfather or uncle, well, his illustrious relative, Lord Yvain, took up residence on Rigid Minoris. Jasper's face betrays a fierce inner struggle before he blurts out, "You know what I think? I find it curious that blessed Caligus didn't make him the ruler of our world. Lord Yvain is in his blood, but it's the governor who rules us. Then why do you think he sent him there? I think he's been exiled." Ah. You think the governor can handle the rebellion? Jasper mumbles evasively. Well, obviously, I'm not sure. Some pessimists to say otherwise. Persuasion. I won't tell anyone. Succeeded. You really won't? Well then, if you ask me, things are pretty rotten. His words come flying out at the rate of stubber fire. Those rebels are strange. We would have easily quelled the normal riot, but we're not some commoners. We're Ricadians, the naval elite of House Winterscale. But those people, they're vicious. They know no fear. And their attacks, they're so precise, like Imperial stormtroopers almost. It's like they know what's gonna happen ahead of time. The command executed 7 officers on suspicion of espionage, but it's not about spying. They say the leader of the rebels is some two-faced Aurora who can see into the future. Now she's the real danger. Idira scoffs and rubs her hands together in excitement. She can see into the future, is that right? We'll see about that. She's up against the wrong psyker. My breezy whispers may be vague, but they are not failed me once. I can tell you without asking my ethereal friends that her future doesn't look too bright now that Lord Captain is involved. I'm looking for an interrogator of the Inquisition who may have arrived on this planet. Have you heard of anyone matching this description? Jasper's face quickly turns grey as he says, I have, but I don't know where he is now. I'm sorry, but I don't like discussing the affairs of the Inquisition. We could maim him, but I don't want to do that. I'm not, sadistic against people who haven't wronged me. I have no more questions. It was my pleasure to be of service to you, my lord. It's been nice to chat to somebody normal. He glances fairly at the body of the nearest blinded lunatic. I must take my leave. You're right, we shouldn't stay here or we might run into rebels. I'll go to a safe place to watch the sky for landing shuttles. May the Emperor protect you, my lord. The Emperor protects indeed,
your duty.
young Padawan or whatever you are. The Emperor protects, that is sure. This thing, I think I should equip this. Like the logic stuff we can use when we talk to people, but I saw enemies ahead, so we will probably go fight. I don't know, spawn of evil. Chaos is everywhere. Spawning everywhere. This line is suspicious. Rebel gunner. So is there like an attack action, like, start combat or something?
Okay.
escape their fate. Crush them.
Argenta is first again. So these are like explosive barrels, right? Maybe she can go here. This guy. Yeah, I don't want to be too close to those barrels. That probably isn't the bestest idea. Here there's a barrel on the other side, but it's Cassia. I guess she can. Okay, it's a bit risky there, but she could be here. The cover isn't the best, I guess. So Argenta. Guess we can move first. How about if we go here? See this?
For the weak.
Okay, yeah, the barrels exploded. Now she can run and gun. But if she moves over here,
The enemies of
see.
the Emperor will be undone.
oh come on, that was just crappy.
Will do.
Oh, not dead yet.
But of course.
Rebel scum, smoke grenades.
Let's get to it. Hold on.
Ow.
Shields me.
Okay, Adolf Argonaut. Maybe go here.
My enemies shall be crushed like dust beneath my feet.
Okay, good. 2 dead.
This is
Oh.
beyond me.
Oops. Yeah, I didn't mean to do any loading or whatever. Okay, this is beyond me as well. Oh, we could actually... they're not really in range either, so how about we just try to kill this guy?
Rejoice.
Oh! Okay, we killed somebody back there. That was funny. Okay, yeah,
Actions
sure,
will
let's use
speak
that,
louder
even though
than
it doesn't hit
words.
everybody. Cassia.
Voice of command. Where's... Ah, this is Abelard.
Isn't this a job for the serfs? I am a
Argenta.
navigator, not a servitor.
In thy light I stand, and thy light I crave. I will not.
Ah, so she can't shoot? Why not? Okay, that's sort of annoying. The game, I wish the game would like warn me, like, no, if you use that, it's useless. Like, I don't understand why can't she attack now. Okay, she can use these weapons though. Nice. Okay, now she can use. I don't really. Ah, okay, she couldn't use it because the guy was next to her. Okay.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Don't understand why can't I use that.
Faith without deeds is why I was chosen. I'll do it. None of you can escape the Emperor's judgment. As the Emperor commands, I act.
As the Emperor commands, you can't hit anything. Let's go here so she can see more enemies because she gives them the debuff.
Here we go.
No! These ruby flushes are choking me!
How? Okay, finally Abelard has a chance to shine. Shine. She shine on.
At your beck and call.
Fine.
Someone else can do this.
Okay, so... Well, yeah, I used the attack already. Oh, I can still use Forceful Strike. No, that would have been like automatic. Okay, whatever. Yes, use this. I should have used it first. Whatever. Okay, yeah, and there's enemy next to her, so she has to use melee weapon.
I'll do it. Each strike is a prayer.
Guess nothing useful that she can do, really. Unlimited power. I could arm her bodies as well. How about maybe just use the lightning anyways, even though it's gonna harm. How about this way? How many enemies? Okay, there's only that one guy. Fine.
I know what is to come.
What an unfortunate turn of fate.
Oh, even that guy took that. Oh yeah, because she has this special ability that sort of causes it to happen.
What? Was that you? Or...
I'm not gonna take the risk and create more chaos by using that. Ouch. So wait, are there only 2 enemies left? What if... No, can't hit that guy from there. Okay, how about from here? Oh, he could actually go here.
Rejoice in
Yes.
service.
Ah, okay. Also, oh, yeah, we could use run and gun.
I will
Concentrated
not be
fire.
deterred. Rejoice in service.
And let's
Power
use this.
resides in the will of the righteous. You have been judged and found wanting. I won't suffer this. The Emperor commands.
Come on. Don't be so
And
bad.
so it shall be done.
Oh, okay, run
I
and
will
gun.
not be deterred.
Guess still stand there. Alright. Cassia. Who's next? Abelard. Okay, let's
Do
get...
not dare
no.
ask.
Ah, yeah, we used it on him already. Then how about her? And then let's try to use this thing on this guy.
Be careful not to cross my gaze.
Lidless eye. Okay, that's her turn, I guess. Abelard.
Indeed. Reduce to dust. It will be done.
I guess we can charge if there's no enemy to charge to. Oh, we can... Is there? Oh, that's too far. Can we still charge?
At your beck and call.
Okay, we can still charge, you know, just for fun. Argenta.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
Nice. Okay, we killed them all. Ooh, knife. Yeah, I don't need that many knives, but I guess like let's keep one knife and boots. Yeah, I think it's the first boots we've gotten. So nothing here really we want. I guess not. Let's check the boots. Boots. Whenever the wearer deals damage to an enemy, the wearer has a chance to gain 2 MP. But I think maybe this guy.
This ocular implant was a worthwhile
Turret was placed in a great hurry, but the Technomat never had the chance to activate it.
Pay attention.
Let us walk this path to the end.
Duty prevails. Never doubt me. The Emperor favors me today.
Ooh, level up. I don't know if I should be excited or lament the fact, because now it's gonna take
75 hours. Wait, was it a medikit? Large medikit. Yes, this guy.
We are bound by the blood of martyrs.
Fine, let's go check out the level up stuff. So agility. I think his shooting is not the best, so maybe I should increase ballistics. And common talent. Anytime Voidborn character scores a critical hit, has 10% chance to double the damage. You know what, let's just take Bloody Mess. There's a toughness, he's very tough already. Agility, strength. Should I take strength? Let's raise weapon skill one more time. Better to die for the Emperor. While under 40% of wounds, Imperial World characters gain plus 10 bonus to all characteristics and choose. If they don't have, I might have more of this archetype in the future. Evasive maneuvers. It's the brace attack affected. Gain plus 16% dodge for 1 round. Enemies within 5 cell radius around the Navy officer while brace effect lasts suffer minus 10 weapon skill and minus 10 ballistic skill. The Navy officer scores critical hit or successfully parries an attack with the primary melee weapon. They immediately make an attack, whichever costs the least AP, with the secondary weapon against him. Let's try this. Sounds like fun. I like counter attacks. Joint analysis. So smoking joint until the operatives next turn their allies attacks also remove exploits and deal plus 3 more damage. Precise attack for the next attack against the target affected by an exploit. Let's see first. Skill. See, well, her logic isn't that good. Tech use? No, I don't think she needs. Yeah, well, maybe awareness. I guess awareness for her. I don't think she needs to care about logic because Argonaut is gonna take care of that. Foreboding. Creates an area that lasts until the start of cycle's next turn. All allies within the area gain +6 dodge. The dodge chance cannot be less than 11. My son woke up. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back here. My son woke up. He's a bit cranky. Maybe I'll turn off the mic, but okay, now my son seems a bit calmer. Maybe I'll just take pyromancy and let's see what that does. pyromancy awareness, I guess. Okay, then Argenta. Agility. Isn't like perception somehow like shouldn't it affect also shooting in some manner? Maybe just some ballistic skill. And that was this. Did you die for the Emperor? Yes. No heresy. Imperial world characters. Yeah, get +10 hit chance, critical hit chance, and +10 armor against Xenos and demonic creatures. And allies gain half the bonuses, but yeah, cannot use lore. But isn't that already like the... okay, so she hasn't lost. But is this guy? Yeah, he has it already. But I guess she doesn't really need the skill either. I guess it's good. I presume they're gonna stack. So she should be getting plus 15 altogether to those stuff. Yes, get that. I don't want to think too much. Air of Authority was this. Officer increases an ally's resolve by 4 until end of combat. If the target is under the effect of voice of command, they will start their next turn with 1 additional action point. What is resolve actually? Resolve influences how efficiently and for how long characters can fight in the battle. It determines the amount of momentum gained at the beginning of each turn after killing an enemy. So it's like if you run out of resolve, do you break and flee? Oh, hey, Twitch 3752. Currently in the last act of Baldur's Gate 3. I'm playing this next. Okay. Cool, I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3 yet. Officer encourages an ally who immediately recovers from burning, bleeding, toxin, stunt effect. The target is under voice of command. They also gain +10 temporary hit points. Maybe it's good if we start to get burning, bleeding, and toxin and stunt stuff. I guess. Let's get that. Why is this so small? Like, why are these sliders now so small? It was the same in the, murders on Yangtze River. This is a citer. Character's first attack with the Weber in a round does not count towards the attack per turn limit. Well, I don't know what is, and we don't have any of those things. Overclocking module. +10 bonus to dodge. Guide of Souls. Like maybe some extra movement might be nice because she can also give it to others. Whenever the navigator uses navigator power, veil degradation is reduced by 1. Tonicity. There's more fellowship. I still don't know what are exactly navigator talents because the game doesn't tell me. It's like archetype is officer, right? So is it the origin? No, origin is the. So is it warp features? Are these the I presume these are the navigator talents, but I really wish the game would tell me explicitly. Maybe I'll take this Guide of Souls. Alright. Let's save. There's some level up stuff. I probably have 2 save files. Leveled again. Okay, sure. Then let's go check what's over here. Insurgents walked into a crowd right across the mine barrier, seemingly oblivious to the fear of death. Oh, that looks like a
Change is coming. The edge is nigh.
The blinded ones are harmless. No sense in shooting them and drawing attention.
Fire on the nearest target! Don't kill the tech priest! We need to take him alive! What's he doing? Fall back!
Ooh, stuff happening. Oh my god, tech priest.
May knowledge be thy fate. Let the cycle be discontinued.
The man dressed in crimson should not have survived an explosion like that. However, he is alive. You hear the wheezing of the respirator that covers half of his face. Pascal.
Not another step.
A trill comes from the folds of the partially smoldering crimson raiment. Its Binharic speech, the sacred language of the Adeptus Mechanicus. The Binharic hymn transforms into a Vox-synthesized voice that sounds like thunder rolling over a vast plain. I guess Binharic, is it like binary somehow? He's not non-binary.
Flee, for I am death.
His gaunt hand rises to stop you, and immediately a Vox howls in pain and the machine equipment starts crackling. The tech priest's blazing power axe discharges a cloud of righteous sparks, and his visor glows menacingly in blue and green.
By the throne! What is that servant of the Omnissiah made of? Adamantine? Class it!
Abelard clutches his head as his ocular implant is racked with a wave of interference. I am rogue trader Adolf Argonaut von Balancius. I mean you no ill will, or no ill.
I identify you as a member of a high stratum belonging to Rogue Trader House von Valancius. I am detecting no need for confrontation.
So the tech priest visor focuses on your attire and examines the symbols on it.
The convoy received an order to meet you. It is no longer functional. Therefore, I propose that we continue to advance to the rendezvous point with the governor's soldiers.
The menacing blue-green glow fades in the tech priest's gaze. He lowers his arm and your equipment ceases to malfunction. The tech priest stares resolutely forward, his Megatron-right tentacles rising gracefully around his hunched figure, which is illuminated by the flames of smoldering remains of the machine. Who are you?
I identify as Magos Pascal Hanema of the priesthood of Mars. By the grace of the Omnissiah, I am currently assigned to the maintenance personnel of the station Altar Templum Calixis X-17.
Altar Templum Calixis. I have heard the name before. The station appears on House Orcelio's star charts in the Furibunda system, not far from the void colony of Footfall. You have traveled a long way to come here, esteemed Magos.
Point at the exploded machine. How did you manage to kill off a slew of people and blow up a sacred machine without even laying a finger on it?
This was my doing.
The tech priest turns around and stares aghast at the burning remains, as if he had nothing to do with what just happened. His voice produces a mournful prayer.
The voices are being weird about him. They're saying garbled, conflicting things. Like they're talking about completely different people. But he's not a threat to you. Even if that's a bit hard to believe after all the fireworks.
You do not even know how you caused such an explosion.
The Omnissiah granted me a revelation. The spirit of this machine was dying, but it wished to perform a service, for such was its design. I sensed this and appealed to it. I do not know how I did it. I merely followed my intuition. The understanding granted by the Omnissiah was not permanent. It has left me.
The tech priest appears shaken. Why do you wish to see the governor?
I came here to carry out a sacred mission. My mentor, Archmagus Argonaut, summoned me, and I hastened to answer his call. But the rabble's unrest prevented our meeting, and I was on my way to Governor Medina to determine my mentor's current location. My escort was ordered by their commander to discontinue their movement and await to be merged with your group. Then, due to their incompetence, they let themselves be killed. It was an unacceptable complication to my task.
If the tech priest's voice carried any compassion for the dead, his dry words that crackled from his vox system did not convey a shred of it. You must be quite devoted to your mentor to be willing to wade into this mess for him.
Cessation of vital functions is an unavoidable phenomenon, and therefore an insignificant one. The doctrine of worship repudiates the fear of death.
I like the way he put it. The doctrine of worship repudiates the fear of death.
With my mentor's words, the Omnissiah gives me the algorithm for redemption and triumphant service. I will be redeemed, and I will triumph.
Algorithm for redemption. Can the Twitter algorithm do that? I invite you to join my retinue.
Acknowledged. Predicting successful and mutually beneficial cooperation.
Okay, new party member unlocked. More leveling to do. Okay, let's check his equipment first. Holy Vestment, Omnissiah Axe. So he has an arc rifle, so he has no alternative loadout. Do we have... Yeah, his tech use is quite good, so I guess he can be our main tech user while he's in the party. How about his logic? That should be, yeah, his logic. What's my logic? Okay, well, it's the same, but now it's better because he has that. Okay. I guess I don't have anything else to give him, so let's go to the leveling. So he's an operative. Intelligence. Weapon skill is quite high. Okay. let's raise intelligence. What? Oh, talents. Calculated relations. Forge world characters use persuasion, coercion, and commerce instead of based on intelligence instead of fellowship. Well, I guess that's. Okay, I probably should end the stream here, though. I can do the leveling later. Because I have to take care of my kid and stuff. But hey, we got a new character, which is pretty nice. But I'm Adventure Argonaut, and I thank you for watching. Bye bye. And maybe I will do the leveling offline if I remember. But bye bye.